Greetings, valiant Helldivers, and welcome to the Liberty. I'm your host, Vanguard. Let's get straight to business, as the enemies of managed democracy never rest. Let's take a quick look at what we've accomplished recently. Galactic War Recap. It's day 390 of the Galactic War, and as we speak, 27,251 Helldivers are deployed. 21.3% are on the bug front, 55.2% on the bot front, and 21% on the squid front. It's another 2 days and 6 hours until the current major order ends, and as it would appear, we're on track to hold Clarel. This means the Deep Mantle Forge will almost certainly remain within our hands. Unfortunately, on the Illuminate front, things aren't looking as rosy. While we have managed to defend against 2 attacks from the Illuminate, the chances of us defending against a further 6 are relatively slim. This is not to say that we cannot succeed, but time is running short, Helldivers. We need to make critical choices, and we need to make them immediately. As it stands, 3,199,000,000 Helldivers have been killed, 18,662,000,000 Illuminates, 40,192,000,000 automatons, and 101,174,000,000 Terminids. And now for some feedback from the Frontlines. Patrick9328 writes, I was fighting automatons and they tried to drop a tree on my head. My head was harder than tree. I am angry now. This is the unyielding Helldiver spirit that sends shivers down the circuits of every automaton war machine. The clankers thought they could outmatch you with mere physics. They clearly forgot that a Helldiver's skull is reinforced with pure democratic resolve. A tree against your head? Laughable. The only thing that should be falling from the sky is a well-placed 500 kg bomb on the automaton front lines. A Helldiver's tactical misdirection ends in glorious efficiency. Fire Safety Officer Theta0123 writes, so I have a confession to make. It involves these spotlights. A month ago, I enlisted a friend into our Helldiving army. She got hooked to the game. She grew and learned fast. She ditched the bugs after a week and became a dedicated bot diver. However, she is a prankster IRL, and she pranked me a lot. So, I basically kinda told her that these spotlights and bot bases alert bots to your presence. They might even trigger bot drops, which has resulted that, well, she shoots every spotlight she sees. I keep up the facade and shoot every spotlight as well. Her counter-diligence is thus used half the time for these light fixture destructions. Should I tell her the truth, or let her find out on her own? Helldiver, your honesty is commendable, but your actions, downright heroic. Yes, tricking a fellow Helldiver into wasting ammunition is typically treasonous, but in this case, your deception served the greater good. No structure, no object, no artificial illumination should ever outshine the light of liberty. Your friend's unwavering dedication to destroying automaton light fixtures has only strengthened our war effort. Without those spotlights, the clankers remain in the dark, lost, confused, and unable to properly coordinate their tyrannical patrols. She has unknowingly carried out a vital sabotage operation, and for that, she deserves a commendation. As for whether you should tell her the truth, absolutely not. Super Earth needs more soldiers willing to snuff out the false glow of oppression. Let her continue her righteous crusade against enemy lighting infrastructure. In fact, consider escalating the mission. Claim these spotlights are powered by anti-democratic energy sources and require immediate neutralization. You have turned a prank into a strategic victory, and for that, we salute you. High Command considers incentive program for major orders, but is duty not its own reward? Helldivers, the fight for managed democracy is its own glorious reward, but reports from High Command suggest that a new incentive program may be in development to further recognize those who commit themselves to major orders. As it stands, all Helldivers reap the benefits of completed major orders, regardless of participation. However, discussions within High Command suggest that those who dedicate themselves fully to these critical missions may receive additional commendations and rewards. While this could be a boon to our war effort, concerns have been raised. If every Helldiver focuses solely on major orders, other crucial fronts could suffer. The enemies of Super Earth are relentless, and we must remain vigilant across all battlefields. As always, we will trust in the wisdom of High Command to ensure that any such program strengthens our war effort without compromising the greater mission. Until then, remember, liberation is its own reward. The real incentive is victory. Helldivers, let's talk. Not just about democracy, not just about the endless war for freedom, but about something that affects every single one of us on the battlefield: our armor. Right now, we've got a system that works, but could it be better? Many of us have fought, bled, and redeployed endlessly, only to find that armor progression feels stagnant. You either pick light for mobility, medium for balance, or heavy for durability, but the differences don't always feel impactful enough. What if we could expand that? What if our armor choices evolved alongside our service record? Well, it turns out High Command is listening. While nothing is confirmed, here's what one person had to say. I'd like to see a total rework of armor passives and tie it to a fun progression system. I don't think we need to go bananas with plate systems and stuff, but we could do so much more. So let's break this down. The need for progression. One of the biggest points raised by Helldivers everywhere is progression. Right now, you unlock new armor, and that's it. There's no long-term growth, no sense of evolving your build beyond just choosing which passive fits best. Helldivers have proposed ideas like late-game perks unlocked through service. Higher-level Helldivers should earn advanced armor perks that make them more effective, rewarding long-term play. Specialized armor perks. What if armor could be tweaked and improved over time, giving different advantages within a weight class? Helm passives. A new category of passives attached to helmets could add even more depth to customization. Reworking specific armor passives. Some of our fellow Helldivers have had great ideas for rebalancing and improving armor, some based on certain war bonds and some general ones as well. Let's take a quick look. Polar Patriot's rework. All-terrain boots. Built-in muscle enhancement for faster movement. Foliage destruction. Walk through bushes without speed penalties. Hazard immunity. Barbed wire, fences, and other obstacles? Gone. Vertical movement buff, easier climbing and steeper terrain traversal, and melee enhancement, a stronger kick taunt for maximum insult to injury. Resistance armor buffs. Right now, even resistant armor still lets gas, fire, and arc damage wreck us. There was a time when gas armor provided full immunity. Why can't fire-resistant armor do the same? A fire safety officer build could truly shine with full flame immunity, allowing Helldivers to go all in on incendiary warfare without setting themselves ablaze. Making weight classes matter. Right now, light, medium, and heavy armor don't feel different enough. Sure, heavies get stagger resistance, and lights are a little faster, but it doesn't feel drastic. What the Helldivers are proposing. For heavy armor, slower, but more tanky, less flinching, and more resilient to staggers. For light armor, faster, better stamina, but lower HP and increased knockback. And for medium armor, the balanced choice, but with its own unique passive advantages. Even better, what if players could mix resistances with weight? Imagine the choice between being a bulky, fireproof juggernaut or a nimble, gas-resistant scout. Where we can find success. This is not about making armor overpowered. It's about making armor meaningful. Right now, choosing armor is mostly about looks and slight advantages. If High Command moves forward with a rework, we want to ensure that progression rewards dedicated Helldivers, armor feels impactful and distinct, and troops have more control over how they build their loadouts. The battlefield is always evolving, and if High Command is considering changes, now is the time for us to make our voices heard. So Helldivers, what do you want from an armor rework? How should progression work? Should helmets have passives? Should resistances be improved? Let's keep the discussion going and make sure that when democracy is on the line, our armor is ready for the fight. And now for some more transmissions from the front lines. GM Radio 2436 writes, "Who is ready for Super Football? It is based off old football, but with a Hellbomb and Liberty." Super Football. The only sport where the halftime show is an orbital precision strike, and the MVP is the last one standing. The rules are simple. The ball, a live Hellbomb. The refreshments, ice-cold Liberty. The goal, deliver managed democracy to the enemy end zone. Permanently. No penalties, no overtime. Just pure, unfiltered patriotism at terminal velocity. Pony Void writes, "Heard that Brash once rode a Bile Titan into an automaton onslaught." Another tale of the legendary Brash. Some say he doesn't reload. He just glares at his weapon until it refills itself. Others claim he once extracted without a dropship. He simply jumped so high that Super Earth pulled him back home. But riding a Bile Titan into an automaton onslaught? Now that sounds like a true Helldiver maneuver. If it's true, it only reinforces what we already know. Brash doesn't fight for democracy. Democracy fights for Brash. Whether myth or reality, one thing is certain. Super Earth needs more Helldivers with that level of reckless heroism. Now get out there and make your own legendary battlefield moment. We close today with our morale boost. The fine line between reckless and heroic, and why Helldivers walk it every day. Helldivers. War is not won by hesitation. It is not won by those who cower behind cover, counting their bullets, fearing the odds. No. War is won by heroes. And heroes, my fellow soldiers, often tread a path that some might call reckless. But tell me, was it reckless when a Helldiver solo ran into an automaton fortress, calling in a hellbomb with nothing but a handshake and a prayer? Was it reckless when a squadmate threw themselves onto a Bile Titan's maw just long enough to let the rest of the team complete extraction? Was it reckless when one brave soldier, out of ammo and out of time, chose to fight their way out with nothing but a supply pack and pure, unfiltered rage? No, Helldivers, that was heroism. Heroism is the willingness to do the impossible, to look at the enemy, at the overwhelming odds, and say, not today. To throw yourself into the fire because you know that Super Earth only wins when its bravest charge forward without fear. So the next time you stand on the battlefield, the next time you see an objective overrun, an ally in danger, a moment where victory seems just out of reach, remember this. Recklessness is just heroism that worked. Now get out there, make impossible plays, defy the odds, and remind our enemies that Helldivers are never afraid to risk everything for liberty, for Super Earth and democracy.